What's up? What's up? This your favorite entrepreneur, Candace $1 billion Tone. Back at you with another episode number 8 in like 1 month. We are doing it. Got some good, some bad, and some ugly, but it's all good. We doing this together. So, just to give you a recap episodes. First one was just a test, just to fill out this podcast, taking you through the process of how to start a podcast, some ins and outs, the an unedited, uncut version, just me trying to figure it out using my phone, out driving. One episode is just you hearing the birds, me outside. Just a couple different things, trying to, fill it out. An episode. Then I started to do online using a StreamYard and Zoom. Then I had guests on. And also I did a review of another podcast. Oh man, I think my most difficult one is the last one when I had to edit. A lot of editing. I tried to add like sound effects to it. But it's fun, but it's long. It's a long, tedious process at the same time. So today I got my mentors on right now, the McBrides, Chrissy and Dexter, some amazing people. And they love helping people, and they mentor people and they guide people. If you coachable, then they can work with you. Period. Point blank. I like the way they do it because they relatable to me with me because some of the same books I have read, but some of the same books that I want to read, they already read. I love it, and they do a lot of different things. So Chrissy and Dexter, if you guys can just on and just tell us about yourself, who is the McBrides?
Hi, how y'all doing? I'm Dexter McBride. I am one half of the McBride duo. This is my beautiful wife, Chrissy McBride. And a little bit about us. We've been together for 30 years. We've been married for 27 of those years. On this journey, me and my wife, we decided that we were tired of being financially destitute. So we knew we had to find something had to work besides us. So we got on this journey and started building. We started building a business. And then I know our business. We've been building that business for 7 years now. We have successful business, um, and along this journey, we have been able to help thousands of people better their lives. And to see how things can change. We hear people talk about things like financial freedom, and they really don't have an idea of what financial freedom really is. And I'll let my wife chime in. I don't want to take up all the talking time.
Oh, we can talk. We ain't got no problem. Either one of
It's
us got it.
okay. It's okay. We got some time.
That's a good thing. That's a good thing, especially when we have something to say. Some people talking and they ain't saying nothing, but
All right.
we this journey has been amazing for us. We had to start with self development. We always were doing a little side hustles, always trying to make a little extra change because we, like to do things, like to spend money. But those side hustles and that, a lot of times they were dead ends. There were things that we were putting money into and never got anything out. And so we got presented with another opportunity. And I was very skeptical and I didn't want to be involved because we had already went through the process of, not making anything. But my husband, he saw this wonderful opportunity and I'm so glad that he took advantage, even though I didn't want him to, because it has absolutely changed our life. It gave us the blueprint of what it takes to be financially fit, financially wealthy. It told us what to do to build wealth. It wasn't just something that said, if you're a good salesman, sell, sell, sell. No, they taught us. And that's what was missing the whole time was the education. Once we got that, it was on and popping. It took us, we made mistakes, you know what I'm saying? And that's one of the things that we do as coaches and teachers. We want you to learn from our mistake. Yeah, some things you got to learn on your own. We understand that. But some things, if I could teach you how to avoid that trap, avoid that issue, that means you get to skip over that. You get to move on to something else
And faster.
and quicker,
Mhm.
right? So we
Yeah,
love to help people to avoid the mistakes that we made. We already made them, so you don't have to. That's just like what we would do for our children. You know, if you want your children to be in a better place than you're going to teach them what to do and what not to do.
absolutely.
Um, then, as time has gone on, other things that have appealed to us is creating ways of making residual income. Oh my goodness, y'all! I'm going to be the queen of that before long because I ain't playing. You feel me? I'm not playing.
Okay.
I'm not
Creating
playing.
residual income. I love it.
Residual income. Yeah, I'm
Uh,
gonna work right now. I'm gonna work right now.
And that's a very,
yeah, yeah.
as my wife was saying, residual income, you know, and it goes, when you look at income, most people have a income called linear income.
One.
They have one income. And what linear income is, the perfect definition of what linear income is. Linear income is the money you make one time for the work you did one time. When you clock in to work on the job, you start to make money. When you clock out, your money stops.
Hmm.
And see, most people are trying to live their life like this, but you need other streams of income. And see, we teach people about multiple streams of income.
Absolutely.
See, multiple streams of income is summed up in three other incomes: leverage income, passive income, and residual income. To go along with your linear income, so now you got four incomes working. So if
Hmm.
one, like my wife to give that an example of a table. If you got four legs on a table and one breaks, that table can still stand.
It stands better.
It stands better. It
Yeah,
stands better.
let,
yeah.
let
Mhm.
it be a one leg table,
But you try
and that
standing on
one
one
leg
leg table,
table is
Mm,
broken.
unless it's
wow,
with a pedestal
that
foot.
part.
It's no longer. It's no longer a table.
That's right. So
It's
now,
no longer a table.
if people looked at their household and so, and they'll say, well, I don't understand how I can make more money. I'm working two jobs. I got a side hustle here. I'm doing nails. I'm catching fish. You got all these things, and these
Mhm.
are some of my examples because I did. I look at here. I sold Avon, Mary Kay, all that. I did all that. Sold fish, cut grass, all that. But at the end, I was still working for
We were
money,
still broke.
and we were still broke.
Mm.
And
Uh-huh.
most people, and we had that linear income, and most people have that linear mindset. That's a mindset
Hmm.
that can change. You can
Absolutely.
change that at any time. You can always change. You can change linear income to multiple streams of income. And
Hmm.
so and me and my wife, we learned that in these 7 years on this journey. We've learned about, people say, "Oh, I'm an entrepreneur." Okay, entrepreneur. What? How many hours are you putting in on your part-time business? I understand 9 to 5. You're giving that to somebody else.
Hmm.
That's 8 hours. But out of the other 16 hours out of the day, how many of those hours are you putting towards yourself? And
Okay.
most,
Okay. So what if somebody be like, okay, I I gotta let's say by time but they go 1 8 hours, one job, and then let's say they have a second job. Let's say they do like 6 hours. And then by the time they come home, they tired or maybe they got kids. So I mean, how do you work in a business when you have, let's say, two jobs and a single parent? What would
okay,
you say to that?
A,
but
a little bit. A little bit does a lot whenever you're doing your own business. A little bit means a lot. It's time management. That's the biggest thing too. Just like you manage your money, you have to learn to manage your time. And we look at superstars, Oprah Winfrey and Elon Musk and excuse me, all these people. They get so much more done in their time than the average American, well, the average person does. It's because they are truly focused on what they're doing. They have schedules, they're so organized, and they're making sure that every minute of their day is used to do things that will either bring them be an asset or help them to build what they have onto their asset. So it's really about time management. That's what it boils down to. Even if you work two jobs, a lot of times we spend time watching television, We spend a lot of time on these phones. All of the time that we're doing these things, especially if you have a phone in your hand, that phone is capable of making you money. But are you playing games and flipping through people's and scrolling through people's stuff? Or are you trying to find a way that you can
Generate
maximize
income.
and generate
Because
income from yourself?
even a single parent, you can be a single parent working 2 jobs, coming home with kids, get you get you 4 or 5 hours of sleep, and go back to work. But during that time, I can guarantee you this, because I see it a lot. You have a lot. You have single parents. Like my wife was saying, they got a cell phone. They're on their cell phone at work, on Facebook, on Instagram. They're on already on all the social
True.
media sites. You're already using the site, so why not use that time
Mm-hmm.
to build your part-time
That
business?
part right there.
So
Huge.
there's no excuse.
But then there's also the other thing that we didn't talk about,
Go ahead.
and the fact that most people that are working 2 jobs trying to get more money, there's probably a better way for them to get more money versus working 2 jobs. And
Okay.
that's through financial literacy and understanding how our communist, I mean, I say communist,
Capitalists.
our capitalist, oh gosh, I took it to another
Where
country.
you live in China?
I took it to
Check on you.
I just let you know I'm just getting ready for whenever it's time for me to go cross them waters. But
But you look at that. Most people live in America and don't even know what type of country they live in.
Mm.
I know. I
You
know.
know, we learned in all these years, up until the last 7 years. 7 years ago, me and my wife did not know that America was a capitalist
We
country.
didn't understand.
We didn't understand
We
capitalism.
didn't understand capitalism. Now
Let
that's
me
different.
now, if you go on the Duns and Bradstreet, type in the government of the United States, guess who's up there? The government of the United States on Duns and Brads. Now, anybody that know about Duns and Bradstreet, that's like
That's for
that's
business.
where businesses, and they
Mm-hmm.
got the United States up there. I found that out just the other day.
It's for
I always
business.
knew America was a business, the United States, but the fact that they put it out there for
Oh,
everybody, don't believe me. Go up there and do your own like research.
research. Absolutely.
It's
I
crazy, but
heard that
yeah.
before.
And it is a corporation. America is a corporation. It's a business. We get out. We hear a lot of time. We see people say, "Oh, your Social Security number is this. Your Social Security number is that, and you can get money from this. You become this. You become that." You hear all this rigmarole, and then I ask them, "Let me borrow $2 million." You say they owe you 20 million. Let me hold 2 million. They can't produce it because why? America ain't ready to give it to you. But America is a business, and what they're telling you, all the laws that they make on the land is for business owners.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Everything that they do is for a business. Even if they raise the taxes on the wealthy, guess what? The wealthy already know how to lower their tax obligation.
Yeah.
The most American people know how to complain about it. They're
How to
gonna
go to
complain
work.
about it.
Yeah. Now who paid the most taxes in America?
Working Americans pay
Mm-hmm.
the
Working.
highest. They're in the highest tax bracket.
Wow.
The average working person right now making $75,000 a year pays more in taxes percentage wise than Warren Buffett,
What?
than Donald
Wow.
Trump, than Elon Musk, than Jeff Bezos,
That
than these
part.
billionaires that are making money, millionaires that are making money. And the American people say, well,
But the crazy part is that we convince ourselves that they're getting some
unfair treatment.
undue treatment whenever they just know the laws. They
That's it,
read the
tax laws.
books. They just know the laws.
Like we did. We started reading books when me and my wife started reading books. We started reading 475 tax deductions. Started reading that book, 475 tax deductions, and there's 475 tax deductions that, as a home-based business owner, you qualify for. So I
Wow.
was like, wow. Then I went on to the IRS.gov website because I was so afraid of the IRS. I used to be afraid of the IRS, y'all. I used to be scared of them. I ain't messing with the IRS. I ain't messing with them people taxes. That's my taxes. I need to learn how to pay less of them. And
Mm.
so I went on their website. and found out that they would send me pamphlets how to
Mm.
educate myself. They have all of everything that you want to know about your taxes. You can go to their website and pull it up, and they will. It's right there. They got 80,000 pages of tax laws, and 30,000 of them belong to working class Americans.
So, but okay, so what do you say about those people that don't understand the language they put into that, like into the laws? Like, is there something, I mean, what do you do? How do you understand that language? How do
Um,
you break it down?
So the first thing that we
we,
did was
we,
we got a hold to we got into this company that broke it down for us.
Mm,
That's really what took away the fear, because when they started saying, they put it in layman terms,
and all it is
and
is
then
what numbers and letters.
we went to go verify what they were saying,
mm,
and then as you start reading, it's like he's saying, the tax deductions. Somebody put up a post one time and it was like, oh, the government will pay for your bills. And okay, the first thing anybody's going to say, if you're saying that the government's going to pay for your bills, is like, they're crazy.
mhm.
Unless you're talking about welfare, the
Right.
government ain't paying for nobody's bills.
Right.
Uh, why? They do pay your bills if you're a business owner, because they want people to own businesses. And so therefore they specifically will pay your bills. They will.
Wow.
They want you to reduce your costs because they know that
They giving you the way
because
to reduce your costs.
because most businesses fail within the first 3 to 5 years.
Mm,
The
yeah.
reason that most businesses fail within that time period is because of lack of money, lack of finances. You're pouring it in. You're pouring it in, pouring it in, pouring it in. And
But
while
nothing's
you're
coming out.
pouring it in the beginning, ain't nothing coming out. But they know that if they keep you on, they know if you stay on the right track. And they know that if you are doing, get to a point where you're starting to reap reward and you're starting to earn income, you're going to have to hire somebody, and you're going to need to get some more taxpayers on your payroll. So you're going to benefit them in the long run. Think
Mm,
about Amazon. Amazon started in a basement. Walmart went bankrupt. And
what?
14
a
times.
bunch, yeah, honey,
For
go
a
look it
year,
up.
14 times.
He went
Sam
bankrupt so
Walton
many
went bankrupt.
times and was having yard sales in his yard. I'm not lying. I'm
I didn't even hear that.
out of
Wow.
He had a shed. He had a little shed in his yard that he was selling his stuff out of. Sam Walton,
Mm.
right there in Arkansas.
But you get what I'm saying. But
Yeah, yeah.
people don't see that. They see
Um,
Walmart. They see
yeah.
Sam's Club.
Yep,
They
yep,
don't see
yep.
what it took to get there.
KFC.
Okay.
But in the midst of getting there, that's the same thing that the government hopes for every business. They hope that for every business. Let me give you a chance. Because if I give you a chance and you get employees, your employees are going to pay taxes into my system. So
Mm,
let me help you out.
that part.
That is really really how it works. But
Hmm.
people don't know that, and whenever you say that the government will help you pay your bills, everybody shuts their hands, their eyes, they close it. It's like, that's a scam, that's a lie. No, that ain't.
No,
but
then
it
it's the truth.
but if you look through the laws, it is
Hmm.
absolutely true.
You know,
Absolutely true.
and
Wow.
you take a simple thing, and what a lot of people look at, they look at when they hear MLM or they hear network marketing, they say, oh, that's a scam. That's the last frontier for free enterprise,
Mm,
because you already living in your house, you already paying the bills. What are
right.
you going to do if you
True.
go out and start a business? You're going to have to pay. You're going to have to pay probably rent on the building, because
Hmm.
see, that person has residual income. That person who owns the building,
Oh,
because
the
Oh,
you're
building,
going to
yeah.
yeah.
pay
Oh,
them.
absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay,
Oh,
so you're
yeah.
going to pay them rent,
Yeah.
and they want their rent.
Yeah.
So if so, you're paying them rent, and then you're paying for the utilities. They want their money,
But you're paying it twice because
but you're paying it twice.
you're paying
Yeah.
for that your home
You paying it at your home, and
and
you
at the
paying it
business.
at the business.
Yeah.
How we know? We've been there, done that.
Failed. Big
Yeah.
fail. Don't do
Yeah.
it.
So trust me, we know how to fail,
Don't
but
do
we
it.
Wow.
also and we don't, and it wasn't failing. Don't look at it as a failure. We know how to learn,
We learned.
Hmm.
Absolutely.
so we
Yep.
Absolutely.
learn.
Hmm.
So
Took it as
now,
a lesson.
But we gotta stop being afraid of failure,
yeah,
Mm,
afraid of it not working,
exactly.
afraid of
Yeah.
it not being exactly what's in our mind or the way we picture it.
Mm,
Because once we get out of our head with that, and we learn from every time there's a setback, or every time that it doesn't go quite like we want it, every single time that happens, it is a lesson to be learned in that. And when you learn that lesson, then guess what? You get to move forward. See, it's not time to quit because it gets hard, or because it's difficult, or because you can't see, right in front of you, even though even though you know it's there, you cannot quit. But so many of us have fear failure. We are ashamed. We don't want people to know that something didn't work.
and one of the biggest fears that people have is the
It's
fear of
just,
success.
oh,
oh,
absolutely.
They talk that they want success.
bro.
People say, "Oh,
Right.
I want to be successful," and then we say, "Okay, let's go be successful." They say, "Oh no, I don't want to do it."
That's facts. I was told fear stands for false evidence appearing real.
That's
Yes,
exactly
You know?
right.
that's ground.
That's
Mm.
exactly.
That part. And then so I know we kind of going all over the place. But
I
it's
know.
it's cool though. I'm loving this. I'm loving this. So yesterday I was on the call with you guys, and Chrissy brought up something that I thought was very, very important. She was her mentor, our mentor, was taught them how to become a millionaire. There's like steps, like strategizing your way to a millionaire. Could you explain that if you kind of can you touch on that a
Absolutely.
little bit? Do you remember?
Absolutely. So what we were discussing, or what I brought up was, in order to be a millionaire, there's certain ways that that can happen, right? So the first way that you can think of being a millionaire is if you just have the asset. If you have $1 million, right, in an investment account, and it generates money for you, that absolutely qualifies and equates you to be a millionaire. um, the next thing that you can do, because having assets also can equate to uh, being wealthy, right? So
Mm-hmm.
if you were to own 4 houses, and this means you own them, they're paid for, there's no, of course, taxes, but you flat out own them, you would need to own 4 properties valued at $250,000 to be able to equate yourself as a millionaire, because you have, at that point in time, you have the assets to solidify that.
Mm-hmm.
um, if you don't own the home, if you're financing, then you would need 20 properties valued at that $250,000, because money's is going to go back to, paying. You're going to be paying for interest and all that kind of good stuff. So just because if you finance for homes, it would not make you a millionaire. That's just, I mean, you would have to finance 20 to equate that.
Mm-hmm.
But then when you're looking at all these things, when you're looking at the things that I just described, how does a person go from where we are to that point? Um, if you are if you don't have $1 million, how are you going to get $1 million, right?
All right.
Some people have products that they might try to sell, but we all already know that
Been down that road, you got to sell a
that's all
lot of
to
Yeah.
products.
get to a
Sure.
million
Yep.
dollars
Yeah.
But between the cost of the product, because between marketing, between getting out there, the time, all of that, you got to do a lot of selling to get to $1 million worth of
Absolutely.
product.
Yep.
Again, who's going to finance 20 homes? If you're trying to figure out how to pay rent, how to pay your car payment, how to keep gas in the car, how to keep your insurance paid,
How to
how to
eat?
keep food on the table,
Yeah.
how to pay for your children's school needs, if those things don't come at an ease,
Mm-hmm.
there's no way that you're going to be financing 20 homes or
Mm-hmm.
owning 4,
Right.
because that it doesn't just happen like that. Something has to, it's a progression. It doesn't just happen.
It's a strategy. You
Mm-hmm.
have to. You know, you can't. You can. but it's a long journey to
Right.
sell yourself to $1 million.
Mm-hmm.
But it's shorter if you strategize yourself to $1 million,
if you work with a group of people,
which is networking. You have to network.
Mm-hmm.
So you take a person, that's making, just say that person, they're making $10,000 a month in their business.
Okay.
And say this is the money that the business is generating with little to no work from that person. That's that's one
120,000
hundred and twenty thousand
per
dollars a year.
year
In 10 years, that business
would
net
generate.
worth is $1.2 million.
Mm.
You now you have an asset. This is what makes you a millionaire, not money.
Mm-hmm.
See,
Mm-hmm.
most people think $1 million makes you a millionaire. No. If you look at most millionaires, what makes them a million? What makes them a millionaire? What makes them a billionaire? Their assets.
Why
Okay.
Trump? Why? I shouldn't say his name out like that.
But
But why the ex-president that's on trial, why he just don't pay the fees? You know what I'm saying? The stuff that
Yeah.
he's,
Mm-hmm.
if he's a billionaire,
Mm-hmm.
why can't he just pay the $1 million
Right.
fee? Because it's not
and it's shown
liquid.
he doesn't have $1 million liquid cash
Okay.
money.
He has
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
assets and they're tied up. But on top of that, we have the opportunity that we've learned about and that we have been definitely fortunate to know and to use and to have access to is a multi level marketing opportunity that allows you to build wealth. It teaches you about wealth and then it gives you the opportunity to build it.
Yeah.
I've not seen anything like this before because no matter what company we've been in, we've always made money. Like I said, we could talk, and we have always been able to sell products, sell some things, and achieve great things during the selling of the products.
But those companies didn't teach us.
What to do with that money?
They didn't teach us anything about
Investing,
investing,
putting
saving on tax
savings some,
dollars,
reducing
minimizing
our
expenses,
taxes.
getting out of debt. They
That
didn't
part.
teach us any of
That's
this. They didn't teach us
that's the meat
anything
and
about
potatoes
building
right
career.
there.
That is the meat and potatoes, and
Yeah, and they
we were
didn't teach us
we
anything.
thought we had the steak, but we was eating soup.
Yep.
That part. So right, so do you guys right now have any type of like assets or investments?
Yes. I'm gonna tell you.
You don't try to get me excited.
Yeah. So let me share. I want to share something with our audience. So I want to share something with our audience. Back in October of 2018, I bought my first investment
Mm.
in the stock
Congratulations.
in the stock
Yeah.
market. I started
Wow.
with $5 on stash.
Mm. Okay.
$5.
Okay.
That's why I started at $5 on stash. Now I didn't know
Started.
anything about investing, but I know that they said we need to invest and
Mm-hmm.
get started, and you can get
And
started
don't
today for
be scared
$5.
to
Don't
put
be
your money
afraid.
in there. Don't be
So I
afraid.
put my money in there,
Mm-hmm.
$5, and I was investing $5 a week. That was $20 a month. Now, I didn't think nothing of it, but I was gonna do it.
Mm-hmm.
So $20 a month, and from doing that, and then having financial education, learning financial education, we learn things like budgeting,
Mm.
things like what can I cut out that I can have more money to invest.
Mm. Powerful. Right there.
Yes. How can I generate more income? And then with that income, I'm going to invest it. So for 5 years, I didn't work for 5 years. I didn't work a job because we were generating more income with the business that I would make working.
Mm-hmm.
And so I didn't work and I took on some other businesses. I got into some other ventures. They had their successful moments, but I got to the point where I said, I'm just going to work. I'm just going to work a job. I haven't worked in a long time. I went ahead and I got a job, but you know what I do with that job? A third of my paycheck goes to an investment account. A
What?
third,
That's
okay.
that's big. That's big.
That's
That's smart
huge,
and
huge,
smart.
because
huge.
because we learn late.
Right.
So we learned late. We learned in
we were
our
in our
40s.
40s.
So you think we learned about financial education in our 40s? I know there's people that's watching this thing right now that's in their teens and 20s.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all are getting something that we didn't get.
Please listen, please.
Because just imagine at the age of 20, and if you started investing now, you would just take $200, $300.
We're getting off the
Oh yeah,
subject. We got to go
but
back to the
investing. I'm
subject.
talking about investing.
No. But we got to talk. She's been giving us the platform to tell
Oh,
about some of the things
okay.
that
Well,
we are
go ahead.
doing to create residual income. She done led us to this about 3 folks.
Okay.
We don't. We get.
Okay. Well, let's do it then. All right. I got off track. Oh man, we was talking about investing.
It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Don't
But
worry.
what
Y'all
she's
good.
doing, she's hooking us up.
Okay, go ahead.
She's hooking us up because one of the first things that I'm going to talk about
Go ahead.
that creates generational wealth that also helps create residual income, because we've been talking about that too, remember, is the fact that I decided to write a book.
Okay.
It took a second.
Okay. Congratulations. Okay. Best-selling author. Yay. Okay. So wait. You have a book. Can we get a title? Has it dropped? Have you already released it?
Let me tell you. So the name of the book is called Slave Mentality. It was supposed to drop on my birthday, but they found some editing snafus.
You can pre-order.
But it can be pre-ordered, and it
Okay.
is the book is done. It's just that I the company that I work with, they just have high standards, and I love that. They
Mhm.
don't want typos and mistakes if they can help it. And so they found some pages that won't write. It's
Okay.
like, well, let's just take the time to fix it.
All
Once
right.
we get it fixed, we'll get it to you. So
Okay.
so
Okay.
the book is written. It's just a matter of getting those corrections made. It's called Slave Mentality. This book is gonna be like no other that you probably ever read, because I'm just different like that. My brain is wired. He knows me better than anybody else, but he loves me the way I am. So I'm so thankful, because
Right.
somebody else might be like, "This girl is just the lost ever loving mine." But the story, even though it's a fictional story, it ties into a lot of what we talk about, a lot of what we deal with, which is finances. It is about, um, I'm just doing this exclusive with you.
Okay. Thank you. Appreciate it, Chrissy.
I've been telling everybody the whole details. So people are like, "You wrote a book? What's it about?" Oh yeah, it's a love story. That's about all they get.
Yeah, that's all you told me.
But I feel good about what we're doing and what we're talking about. Um, this book is actually sci-fi. The people in the story are actually going back in time, back into slavery days. You're probably like, well, why?
I know, no, I mean you had slave mentality that there's a reason why you named it that. So
Absolutely, absolutely. Even though we don't know it, we have a slave mentality. This was something that was passed down from generation to generation to generation to generation. um, in the book, there is a huge comparison of what life is like now compared to what life was like then. And even though a lot of things we're making choices on, we're choosing, we're still just having about the same things that we had back then. They
mm.
fed us because they needed us to be healthy enough to work.
All right, absolutely. Yep.
You know what I'm saying? They clothed us because we weren't finna walk around they folks naked.
Right.
You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Yeah, yeah,
They
yeah.
they gave us transportation. If we had to go somewhere, we might got to ride on the back of a wagon.
Mm-hmm.
And they always kept us in a hut, something over our head, a house, so with a
Right.
fireplace. It might not have been the lap of luxury, but it was what it was. We had our basic needs met in
Mm.
most cases.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, there's some other stuff that came with it, but our basic needs were met.
Mm-hmm.
And so, what do you think is been happening in today's society?
Bare the minimums.
Our basic needs are met.
Mm-hmm.
They're not wanting us to be educated. They're not wanting us to have that we go to school and we don't talk about money. in school.
Oh, that part.
Let's keep it real. They
Jeez.
will teach us to cook. They will teach us to woodwork. They
Mm.
will teach us to uh their math, and now the math is all
The math
baffled
ain't
because
mathing.
I don't know what this mess is. My son is 12 years old and he's an honor roll student. He's in honor classes in math and English, which
Hmm.
is rare for his age to
Okay.
have two. He kept telling the teacher, she said, I don't know what to say to him because he kept saying, why do I have to do all of this whenever I just know that this is?
Right,
The
right.
teacher was saying that. She said, I don't know what to tell him. She said, I
Mm,
need him to do the work. But my son kept saying, I don't have to do that because I know that this is.
mm.
I got the school system jacked up.
Yeah.
I got two sisters that are teachers. I substitute. I used to substitute. My daughter substitute.
Hmm.
And in the midst of that, I've seen the world. I've seen what it's like. I've seen kids not paying attention. I've seen the ones that are lost in the sauce.
Hmm.
And of
Hmm.
course, we've gone to school for ourselves. They will teach us everything except for money, but yet and still, money affects us every day that we are in
Single
this
day.
world. We are affected by money. From
Hmm.
the time we're born and that hospital bill comes out to the time we die, and it's a funeral bill. Come
Mm.
on now,
Yeah.
they money is in our food, every food,
That's,
clothing, where you
yeah.
live, everything you do, money is in it, but they do not teach us about it.
Nothing. They don't teach us nothing about it in school.
Why is that? Because they need us to keep the slave mentality. They
Mm.
need us to make just enough. They need us to have enough to make us feel like we have got
So
something.
they got that little carrot in front of us. The
You
money
see
is
what I'm
carrot.
saying?
Yeah, just enough. Yep.
Yes, enough.
Wow.
And
Okay.
then when we start making more, people will make up cliches to not make money. Y'all better go somewhere and quit saying stuff like that. I'm not entertaining y'all when y'all do stuff like that. Cause I used to do it, and I'm not doing it no more. Saying crazy stuff like I'm all right without it. I don't have to have money. You know,
I hear that.
I
I
want
hear that more than I would like to hear that.
I
huh?
can't take it with me when I die.
Say that
Oh,
again.
that part. I said I've heard that statement more than I would like to hear it.
Why are you
I,
saying that?
that's what I'll be wondering. I'm like,
Because
why
you
don't
making excuses to not have. You're
uh,
trying to put that pillow down there, the cushion, because you don't have and you don't know how to have. And because you don't know how and you don't, you just make it okay.
that
But
part?
I'm telling you, it's not okay. It's
Like
not.
I told my wife like this. I want to have rich people problems. I know all about poor people problems.
All of them.
I love it. Let's
I
have
know
rich
all about poor people
problems.
problems, you know. And I encouraged her, write your book,
Hmm.
write your book,
Period.
put it out there, get your book out there. People need to read that sci-fi, but inside of that sci-fi,
There's some
you're
jewels.
gonna learn
It's a
something.
lesson.
You're gonna learn some lessons. You're gonna learn some things that are happening right before your eyes.
Mm,
They're not tricking you. You just hanging with the wrong people.
that
And
part.
believing the wrong
Absolutely.
things. God, believing the wrong things. So, absolutely, if anybody wants access to my book, my website is Chrissy McBride, the author or hyphen the author. So KRISSIEMCBRIDE hyphen THEAUTHOR.com. Chrissy McBride, the author. I think the book is good too because I'm just telling you, I'm a reader. Another crazy story, just a little
Oh, it's a
back.
good thing. I'm on book number this right now. This time of the year, I'm on book number 28.
Wow.
Um, another funny thing that helped me to write. There's a couple different things that I like to tell about. One of the things is that we had a mentor that had a class, and on that class, he was saying that you can monetize your talent. He
Yeah.
said, "What is your talent?" And and, and it's it's not good enough to be. what does that say? Jack of all trades and
Master none. Yep.
master none.
Master
He
none.
said, don't quit saying that. He said, quit saying that. You need to master one. He said,
Master.
you need to master at least one and
Yeah.
let your talent be monetized. He said, it's nothing wrong with that. And your talent is your talent for a reason. And so when I was thinking of my talents, you know, what we cook together. He's a better cook than me. I'm not even going to deny it. But what we do cook good together, and I cook good things. He cooks great things. And I was like, should we be cooking? You know, but then I started thinking about all the monies, you know what I'm saying, that you got to put in to get that started and do that. And we've done stuff before where we put a lot of money into it. And I told my husband we're not doing that no more. So I
Like
was like, we
starting a
need to
restaurant. I don't want to
I
start
said
one. It's too much money.
I said we need to find something that doesn't cost a lot of money and that we can use it to monetize. Well, how much did it cost me to write a book? I
Time.
promise you time.
Wow.
It took a lot of time because I've been writing this book for a long time. But I have issues because I wanted it to be. I read something or I watch something. I am really engrossed in it. But if something is good, I can tell you that it's good and why it's good. So
Okay.
I wanted my story to be one of the best. I wanted to be something that shocks people and make people be like, "Oh my gosh," you know, that deep feeling. And
Yeah.
I know that it happens because when I read it, I get those feelings. I get the nervousness, the happiness, the
That's what you
joy.
want. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I know that others are going to feel it as well. Sometimes I'll be like, "Did I write this?" That's residual income. It was written one time. Yes, there's money that had to be spent on certain things like the publisher and the editing and things like that. But once it's written, it's on paper. That's it. I just have to do my portion.
And that's that scripture. It says, "Write the vision, make it plain."
Absolutely.
It's telling us what to do.
And I just have to
Write the vision, make it plain. If you want to, if I read books from other people, some of them are dead and gone. I got books in my house from Socrates.
Wow. Wow.
Socrates, how long Socrates been dead?
Oh no, long time.
A long time.
Yeah.
But I got books in my house from Socrates that I read. I got books in my house from Shakespeare. How long Shakespeare been dead?
Yeah, long time. long time.
Reading his books because in reading is the clues.
Yeah.
The clues are in the reading.
Yeah.
The successful people, it tells you, success leaves clues. They've already made the mistakes. People you want to get rich? Go read a book about somebody that got rich.
Yeah.
Like my wife. Y'all are looking at this millionaire.
That part.
Yes.
Okay, well, I don't see $1 million. I don't see a Mercedes Benz. I don't see a Jaguar. I don't see. You ain't gonna see it.
You gonna see assets.
Warren Buffett is still living in the house he bought for $30,000.
Wow.
He's still living in the house, but he's a billionaire. The man still drives his Cadillac. He drinks Coca-Colas. He drinks 6-pack Coca-Colas a day. And he will on Coca-Cola.
Look like we on fire.
Yeah, I hear it pumping. I see y'all.
We're actually, we're sitting, we're on this live podcast here with Candace, and we're sitting in our backyard enjoying the night, the beautiful skies, the stars, and all of that, and sharing with y'all the keys. We're giving you keys to drive the car.
Yeah.
You got to do is pick the keys up, put them in the ignition.
Residual income can be definitely through your talent. You can also become a property owner, and that's also a project that we have taken on. Not a lot of people know about it.
Yeah.
But the land project that we taken on is to buy in a group. And as we make the purchase in that group, as everybody puts their funds together, we can make better purchases instead of using debt to tie us in. We're using cash to make these purchases and then making money from the purchase and then rebuying.
Cash, I said cash.
Cash,
that part.
Group economics.
Exactly. That's exactly what it is.
Group economics, and you look at if you look at society today, and you go down through society, go through your neighborhood. Everybody on here that's watching, go through your neighborhood. Everybody eat Chinese food. Everybody eat Asian food. Everybody go there and get their meals. They're going to get the egg rolls, the spring rolls. You're going to get that food. How many of them live in your neighborhood?
Oh,
But
but
they all work together. You'll go in that restaurant and you'll see 10 of them in there working. They ride in one Toyota van.
yeah.
They live in one house. But they're paying the bills, but they're taking the extra overflow of cash flow. They're taking the positive cash flow and they're investing it.
They're sending it back home so they can buy land in their home country,
and then you look
they're
around,
buying land here.
Yeah.
They're buying assets here. And the thing is that we have been taught separatism, individualism are the way to go.
Yeah.
It's not true.
You can do it yourself.
It's not true.
Yeah.
We're taught we
back
can't
to your book.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go
No,
ahead.
my bad. I said all tie back to your book.
Oh, absolutely. Slave mentality. Absolutely. It does.
It's in that book.
Absolutely. That is a slave mentality because you can't trust them. You don't know who to trust. Ain't no use of you putting faith in them and nobody else. If you want something done right, do it yourself. You know, it's so many cliches out there that is crazy that we got to stop saying, stop encouraging, and stop spreading that mess, because that is a bunch of mess.
Money is the root of all evil.
We
hear that.
Together.
How many people say that? You hear that? Money is the root of all evil. And then you get some that get smart, and they say, well, now they say the love of money is the root of all evil. Okay, but why are you going to work every day?
What? Speaking.
Quit your job. Quit your job. But you're getting up every morning, going to some place that you don't like, to work 8 hours at a place that you don't like, to come home tired, disgusted, busted, and broke.
Take it out on your kids. Treat your kids like they don't matter and they ain't nothing. You know what I'm saying? And that stuff keeps getting passed down just because we don't know no better. We don't know any better. But the other thing is that when we do know better, how do we change? Right. And that's why
that's what personal development keeps
personal saying. Development. And that's also why, we have the guidance that we have through this organization, because we couldn't have done it by ourselves. We never could. Our parents did the best that they could. Yeah. Did the best that they could. They loved us as hard as they could, but they could not give us what they did not have.
Absolutely.
They could not give us what they did not have.
Absolutely. So look, we're going to wrap it up. I got a bonus question for you guys. Absolutely. I got 3 different ones. Y'all can answer all 3 if you want to, or you can choose which ones you want to answer, okay?
Okay.
I'll give you the questions, y'all choose. Okay, so question number 1, what are your 5 top books you read? And then question 2 is, how do you stay motivated and continue to innovate in your field and in your industry? And what advice do you have for aspiring authors, investors, entrepreneurs looking to achieve success? We kind of touched on that a little bit. And then the third one is, as a business owner, what strategies have you implemented to ensure long-term success and sustainability for your company and in the competitive market today?
Okay, well, I'll answer that question. I'll take number 3.
Okay.
And number 3 is, I use a simple strategy that our company taught. And that strategy is 5. It's 5. They make up a thing called income shifting. 1 is to minimize taxes. Minimize the amount of taxes that you're losing on a regular. Look at your paycheck. You don't trust me? Go look at your paycheck. Grab your paycheck stub and go check it out. See how much federal taxes you got coming out of that check. See, would you like to have it back? I like to have mine back. I learned how to get mine back. I brought it back, and it started helping me and my household. Number 2, minimize expenses. You're already paying for your rent, mortgage. You're already paying for your utilities at your house. You're paying for that vehicle that you're driving. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people just entertained their moms yesterday, but if I learned that entertain my mom, great. Take mom out. We're gonna have a business meeting while we're there with mom. We're gonna make this thing here business tax deductible.
Mm.
So we're gonna do everything we do is tax deductible.
Right.
We learned that through this company. It taught us to do that. Then we learned about credit. We learned that you must learn 100% of your credit, not just 35%. That when you go to somebody just going to do a letter and send it out, you're going to do all 85% of the work. But they're just going to send this letter off and then bam. But then you find yourself back in the same spot. A year later, you back in the same spot because you haven't learned anything about credit. You really don't understand. And then we take that right there and said, okay, now let's start eliminating debt. So now when you start to eliminate debt, that's more cash flow for you, positive cash flow. And then we took money and started investing. That's a strategy.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't sell anything. I took my money, my own money, minimized the amount of taxes that I was losing, minimized the amount of expenses that I was paying, build better credit, paid off some debt, took some money and started investing. Now I have an investment portfolio.
This definitely helps anybody that is wanting to have a business, because if you don't get your finances straight, your business is not going to last anyways. So you have to start with your own finances, and then once you get your own finances straight, it just makes it all the better for you to be able to continue in your business life as well. Um, the other question that you asked was, any what do we use to as motivation? Was that the question? Okay. So for us, what has been motivating has been absolutely our family, one, our children, which most people do, have that going for them. And then we also, for motivation, you know, it's time to retire. We know that we really want to retire.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
We see so many people that want to retire and even say they're retired, but then they go back to work,
Yeah.
and they come up with excuses. And again, I just can't sit back and
I got tired of sitting at home.
I got tired of sitting at home, so I went back to work. There's so many other
Yeah.
places. There's
Mm-hmm.
so many other places. There's so many other countries, cities, states.
To do.
That part. There's so much to do.
And like with that question you asked about motivation,
Mm-hmm.
the number one thing with anybody's motivation, and I will give you this quote, and I hope you got your pen and paper, write it down. See, long after motivation, the motivation to get you started has left,
Mm-hmm.
you must replace it with discipline.
Mm-hmm.
You must replace it with discipline. That's how I stay motivated every day,
Okay.
because my motivation is discipline. My motivation is discipline myself. That's my motivation. My
Mm-hmm.
motivation is saying, I got to get up out this bed. I'm going to go here. I'm going to turn these 8 hours. While I'm working these 8 hours, I'm thinking of my next plan for when I get off to work 5 hours for myself. What can I do in those 5 hours for myself to better my family?
Mm-hmm.
And I have to discipline myself that.
That's true. Yeah. It
And the
takes a lot
book,
of discipline.
it does.
Yes.
And so the favorite books.
My
Wow.
5 favorite books.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, right. I'll give you more. My 5 favorite books. One is The Power of Ambition by Jim Rohn.
Mm.
One of mine is Power Novels by Dr. Claude Anderson.
Hold
All
on,
right.
wait. Hold on, wait. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. I don't know if you can see it, but there you go.
Yes. Yes. That's it. Yes.
That part, that book right there.
Yes, I love
Yes. I
that.
got it. Yes. My third great book in our house is The 475 Tax Deductions.
Okay. Okay. All
Okay.
right. I got
My
that
book,
too somewhere around here.
Slave Mentality.
That's my
That
wife's book.
part.
It is my favorite because it's
That
amazing.
part. Ooh,
I'm
y'all got
telling you.
y'all
And
caught that book.
that's right.
Period.
And my number one book that I love reading is nope. My number one book is Think and Grow Rich
Oh,
by
I love
Napoleon
that book
Hill.
too. Wait, hold on. You know what? Only because it's my favorite book too.
Candace, keep
Hey,
on
look, check this out.
it.
I got
Yes.
my notes.
Yes.
Yes.
All of that. Have you read Who Moved My Cheese?
Yes. Get that
I
book.
love that book. I read
Yes.
it. I don't have it, but I read it. I think I
Yes.
must, or either I heard it online
I
or some
tell
people
people
Listen to it on
told
YouTube.
quit
me
hemming and hawing. I
It's
keep
on.
saying
It's on.
quit
It's
hemming
on.
and hawing.
It's on
that.
YouTube. So go to YouTube
That's a good one too.
and listen
Yes.
to it.
The
Quit hemming.
Alchemist. I love the Alchemist too.
Oh
Yes, The
yes.
Alchemist is
Oh
awesome.
my
Yes.
gosh.
I'm
So,
sorry.
We don't. I five was too.
but it's a good thing. It's a good thing. So we read a lot,
We do. We do.
and
So we gonna let her close
so we're
up.
gonna let you close out, and whenever you're ready to have us
Cause you
again,
already know we just like alone.
Don't
yeah,
worry, y'all just gonna have to come back and finish up because I know there's so much more that
yes,
you guys can go into. That's just kind of a brief overview of everything. But I wanted to say thank you guys for coming and sharing y'all wealth of knowledge. And I also want to give a shout out to Lily from Midway Target. I went in there yesterday and I was just looking for some equipment for lighting and another microphone, just asking questions about, and I told her I do a podcast. And most places nowadays, the customer service sucks. Terrible. People just so comfortable. But
Yeah.
her customer service was outstanding. And so
Awesome.
if you listen to this one, I just want to say thank you for all the help and your knowledge that you given me when I was in your store. You knew what you was talking about and you was very helpful. She didn't know I was gonna give her that shout out. She just said she gonna listen to the podcast. So I want to say
You're
thank
supposed to
you.
give those flowers
that's
while
right.
they living. So period.
Absolutely.
Yes.
That
I
part,
love
that part. So look, we're gonna go ahead and close this out. Thank you, Chrissy and Dexter. I appreciate you guys once again for coming on this platform, sharing your information.
it.
And we're gonna get her book, her link to her book. We're gonna post that in the comments below. So go ahead and get that State Mentality book. Pre-order your book right now.
Yeah.
How can they find you guys on social media? What is you guys?
So if you go on to Chrissy McBride, that's who I am on Facebook. Dexter McBride on Facebook. On TikTok, I'm Miss Biz Wiz. That's MZ underscore BIZ underscore WIZ, Miss Biz Wiz. I'm also that on TikTok. I'm sorry, I said TikTok. I'm also that on Instagram. Are you still Mr. DCB on?
I don't know what they got me as on. I think it's
You see,
I think
you
it's
still
I
don't know what they got me.
it's McBride Dexter 747 or Dexter
On
McBride
what? On
747 on
TikTok?
TikTok.
What about on
Instagram is
Mr.
Mr. Deck 100.
Mr. Deck 100?
Okay.
So yeah, if you find
Generation
us on
First Building.
Facebook, if you find us on Facebook, you'll find us anywhere. But yes, thank you so much, Candace. We love your platform. We love you. We know
Oh,
you
thank
are
you, thank
doing
you.
the thing.
Yes.
She is erasing fear. You feel me? She is conquering fear. She's
That
like, boy,
part.
that
Got
ain't
to.
nothing to it but to do it. Yay.
That part too. So
Woo!
again, you
Okay.
guys, I appreciate you guys so much.
And we
Absolutely.
appreciate you.
God,